Hello everyone, welcome to the Healthy Dome, and today we're going to be doing a simple chicken salad. It's very simple. You're just going to use some chicken that has been already baked. If you want the recipe, you can follow my other video where I do a chicken and a baked chicken in a wok. It's very simple, and you can get a stock out of it a certain way, and I can show you that in that video. So I'm just using this chicken because it's already, it's been in the fridge. I need to do something else with it and see how I can kind of recycle it into something else so I can use it for salads or sandwiches. If I'm gonna do a quick sandwich, then this would be good to put on there. But it's very simple. Only 3 ingredients, as you can see, and whatever seasoning that you put on the chicken, whether it's oregano, salt, pepper, etc. So what I'm gonna do is show you how I do this. I'm just gonna chop them up, and yeah. So okay, so first you're gonna need a container. I have this. I'm gonna put it to the side, and this is where I'm gonna add my chicken once it's chopped. I'm going to wash my celery. So first you're going to start taking out everything that is bone. So you don't want any bone in there. And it's best if you use your hands because, who are you going to impress anyways? So you're just going to use your hands and take off all the meat. If you want, you can use gloves, but as long as you make sure your hands are washed and it's for your own consumption, then I don't think there would be a problem with that, unless it's in a restaurant, then you have to wear gloves. So I have this right here. I'm not gonna use all of it. I'm gonna chop everything up, but I'm only gonna use half this for the salad. You don't want to have too much of it. So this is how I'm gonna show you how to cut it. Once you have it all packed up in there, you've taken all the bone out. You're going to grab your knife like I showed you before, with your finger here and then your 3 bottom fingers there, and then holding with this, with your thumb, holding it down. And then with this hand, you're gonna turn it into kind of like a claw, and you're going to put it behind the knife. You're gonna take the knife and you're gonna start just sliding it by putting the tip on the board and then lifting it up, and then you're just gonna slide it to the side. Like you're just gonna move it up and do that until you can start chopping very finely. And you're gonna do that motion for a while watching your fingers. You don't wanna, but this is the best way to do it, just by doing that. And if you have too much, then you can just spread it out, but you want to make sure you keep that motion so you can get really fine chicken. And you could also hold it like this, but when you have it like this, it's easier to slide. This is a way of doing it, you see? Once you get the hang of this motion, then you could just do it quickly. And it gets a lot easier with time. You just feed it to the knife while you're doing that. That's the coolest part about it. While watching your fingers, because again, when you're reaching that edge, you can also do this. Put your hand on the knife and hold it and just do this motion right here while pushing it to the side, kind of like pushing the chicken away so you can have better grasp. Yeah, so So you can do that, put your hand here, put the knife the way I showed you, put your finger back because you need space. Just make sure you're grabbing it really tightly at the bottom and at the handle, and then just move the knife towards. A bunch of shredded chicken here that we're going to use to prepare the salad. What I like to do is toss it around because I want to get the even amounts of skin that I keep because I don't like wasting anything. And I don't think it's that much. I know that for health reasons, when it comes to fats and stuff like that, usually skin is the one that has most of the calories, but I'm not worried about calories. If you're eating healthy and you're consuming whole foods and natural foods that are not highly processed, then I don't see why you would have to be calorie counting and doing all these things that people do. And I'm a nutritionist, so I would know this, but for myself, I don't calorie count if I don't have to, especially when I keep a really healthy diet and I don't focus too much on calorie counting, as long as I'm doing portion control, because that's one thing that I do take into consideration, is making sure you're portioning out the amount that you're supposed to eat at a time. Because if your body, if you're getting in more than what you should, then your body's just going to store it, and you don't want your body to store any type of, you know, fat or anything like that. So what I'm gonna do is divide this into two because I want to use only a little bit. You can also use this chicken to make salads. You could just throw it in there and sprinkle it in the salad and have that with some other meat or some cheese or whatever you like. Make sure you're taking out all the air too, because when you put plastic bags in the freezer and it has air inside, usually it'll build ice crystals and water will build up and moisture, and you don't want that because then it will ruin the food inside. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna pour it in here, put it on the side. If you're going to use vegetables and you're not going to use them all at once when you're chopping, just make sure that you use the chicken for last, because that way you can, you know, even though the chicken is cooked already, you don't want to contaminate food. And since I'm using the whole onion and celery, I am not caring to do the chicken first and do it on top of the board. But always make sure that your board is clean when you're mixing meats and vegetables, because you don't want to cross-contaminate. So you're going to take the onion, and this is what I do. I usually take this off because it's has too much acid in it. So it usually gives you the watery eye. So when you remove this part of the onion where it's more concentrated and there's more onion juice in there, then you usually start getting teary-eyed, etc. But if you remove that part, this part right here, this is where all the juice is concentrated at. So if you remove this part of the onion before chopping, then you'll definitely not get any you'll still smell the onion, but you won't get teary-eyed. And what I do is usually follow this pattern of the onion. So chop against it, not with it, because then you're still gonna get strings. But if you do this and you chop against it, then you know that when you cut into it, then you'll have when you cut into it like this, you'll have smaller strips. So that's how you do it. And then you also do this if you want to mince it smaller, while making sure you don't go all the way down. This is already a used onion, so, but with a full onion, you see the, you know, you could actually save and cut as much as you need. So I'm gonna do this right here. Then I'm gonna place it down, and then I'm gonna use the motion that I showed you earlier to just mince it. For this recipe, you wanna have everything minced because you want it as small as possible to not get a really handful of like a mouthful of one thing, you know? And because you're using so little ingredients, then you want to make sure that they all blend together perfectly. One way of avoiding this onion mess, you know, and teary-eyed, etc., is to wear goggles. I know it's a stupid thing, but if you're wearing goggles, then they're definitely not going to get through your eyes. So you can do that. So once you have this minced, okay, so I'm gonna add this onion over here. So with the celery, I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna cut this off, so we don't need that. And this is all is left. So because I want it smaller, I go in and I divide it into two. And I do that with both of them. Then I'm going to get myself ready to start chopping it really finely. So we're gonna add that to the salad. And that's pretty much it. Just chop up a bunch of vegetables, put the salad in there, the chicken, and this is what you have. Now, okay, so this is what you have. I chopped everything, the chicken, the onions and the celery, and now we're going to add the mayo. You can use other types of mayo. I use regular organic mayonnaise, but you can use vegan mayo if you want to go lighter. If you don't want to use the eggs and stuff like that, if you want to, you know, keep it more environmentally friendly. With the chicken, I mean, if you wanted to use, for this recipe, if you wanted to swap it with tofu, that would be great. You could also use tahini sauce instead, and that would be good instead of mayo. Measure out 2 tablespoons of mayo, and then you'll be all set. And this is one I want to keep you guys informed. Don't use your spoon after you've mixed it in here and then put it back, please. That's contaminating the things inside here. If air gets into it, mold will build up if it's dirty, you know. And if you breathe on it, it will, you know, damage. Or if you mix this up with the clean spoon and then put the spoon back, it'll be damaged. So just keep that in mind, to keep clean and not contaminate the product once you are gonna put the lid back and put it back in the fridge, because it's not good to do that. And you'll waste a bunch of product that could be in the fridge for months, and you'll, you know, mess it up right away. Just like that. And if it needs more, then you can add more, but I really don't like to. I like to keep it light. I'm gonna put it in my hand because I don't want to contaminate the spoon. Yeah, it's perfect. If you want to cut the bitterness of the onion or the potency, because I know it's very strong, you can add a little bit of vinegar to this, and it will, you know, by adding some acid, it will keep everything just right, and it will give it a kick. So I think I'm gonna add a lemon. I forgot to put that there, but definitely adding a lemon to this, making sure everything is mixed well in there, and that onion kind of gets to be cooked by the acid, and it won't be as strong as so yeah, I'm just getting 1/3 of a lemon, so small lemon, adding it to there, making sure to cover all that up. And I don't need the salt because I already put salt on the chicken, and the mayo already has its salt. So I'm gonna put this to the side, and I'm gonna show you what I do with it on a piece of bread. Okay, so I have this honey wheat bread. I'm just gonna take it and add some stuff to it. If you want to add some lettuce and tomato to this, this will be great. And I like mine to be just like it is. I like it cold. I don't like to toast it. But if you do like that, then do that. And I like cutting the edges off, because I don't like the bread to be hard on the side. And if you like, you can also add some cheese to this. So this is pretty much it. Let me see if I can zoom in so you guys could see better. Yeah, there you go. Hey, this is what you get then. And it's so delicious. This is so good. And it's quick. You can take it or go. Put it in a plastic bag. I know plastic, whatever, but you know, if you don't have anything else, then that's the best thing you can do. And you just put it in a bag. Take it to lunch. I mean, take it for lunch, for work, or whatever you need. So delicious. So I'm gonna finish this. This is my lunch. I hope you liked the video, and please subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the next one. Like I said, I'm gonna post the chicken one, how to bake it, and you'll learn how to do that. And yeah, take care. Hope you like it. Bye.